6 Xiaomi Redmi Note, $209.99. Want something more compact than the largest T2 Ultra, yet still with a hardy 5.5 display? Look no further than this year's Xiaomi Redmi Note Phobalt. It sports an HD panel, octa-core processor, 13MP camera, and expandable storage, all backed up by a generous 3200 mAh battery unit, and coming for around $250 to form a great deal. Not only that, but the budget handset runs Android 4.4 KitKat, painted with Xiaomi's award-winning MIUI interface, too. Did we mention it's a dual SIM device as well? 5. Motorola Moto G 2014, $179.99. For less than $200 you are getting a phone with a 5 HD display, 8MP camera, and expandable storage, not to mention the stereo speakers in the front that Motorola threw in, or the fact that the phone is already being upgraded to the newest Android 5.0 Lollipop, which is making it the best deal at the moment. The phone's larger dimension is attributed to the bigger 5-inch 720x1280, 720p, IPS display that Motorola has decided to bless the new Moto G with. Needless to say, this decision gives it a size akin to today's contemporary, high-end flagships. Certainly, its 294 ppi pixel density figure isn't outstanding. 4. The HTC Desire 816, $179.99. The HTC Desire 816 strikes a good value for money ratio with its solid build quality, large 720p display, and its snappy UI performance. On top of that, you may be surprised by the results produced by its 13MP main camera, while the 5MP front-facing one will leave you very satisfied with your selfies. Described by its maker as a flagship mid-range phone, it strikes a great balance between price and features with its generous 5.5-inch display, quad-core processor, and 13MP camera. At the same time, goodies borrowed straight from the company's flagship, the HTC One, M8, are making an appearance in HTC's Phobalt, including the gorgeous Sense 6.0 interface and the awesome pair of front-facing boom sound speaker. 3. Motorola Moto X, $224.99. Don't sniff at last year's Moto X edition just because it has an only 4.7 display. Its Android Lollipop update is not far behind, and you will be getting it on a phone with extra CO processor that offers always-on voice recognition, customizable rear covers, plus there is a hardy 10MP camera on the back. To be more exact, it's flaunting a 5.2-inch 1080x1920, 1080p, AMOLED display with Gorilla Glass 3. In the details department, its pixel density count of 424 ppi is more than sufficient to give everything a crisp look to it. Nowadays, Quad HD resolution is springing up more frequently. 2. Sony Xperia T2 Ultra, $239.99. Looking for a large screen, thin chassis, and amazing battery life for under $250? Look no further than Sony's awesome deal of a Phobalt, the 6 Xperia T2 Ultra. It sports decent 245 ppi pixel density, a slim 7.65mm chassis, and a generous 13MP rear camera. Did we mention it is light and feels awesome in the hand? Last year marked the time when Phobalts ganged up on the 6-display diagonal barrier, and the Baron, at the time market niche, suddenly started teeming with competition from every major manufacturer like Samsung, HTC, LG, and Nokia. Handset with a more affordable price tag that features a 720p screen, and a Snapdragon 400 processor, but sweetens the pot with a 13MP camera, and a large battery. Sony outed the jaw-dropping 6.4Z Ultra Fabolt then, cramming top-shelf specs in an ultra-thin, waterproof body. 1. Sony Xperia M2 Aqua, $249.99. Jonesing for a compact waterproof take-anywhere phone with LTE connectivity that won't break the bank? Enter the Sony Xperia M2 Aqua, in lovely copper color. With a 4.8 display and a Snapdragon processor, you won't feel too restrained for specs, and you get a nice 8MP camera on the back, too. Outfitted with a quad-core Snapdragon 400 chip from Qualcomm and 1GB of RAM, along with an 8-megapixel XMR sensor, the M2 will strike you as a very decent, middle-of-the-road handset. And that's precisely where Sony is aiming the M2 at. Let's see if it delivers on that promise.